Hello, everyone, and welcome to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. I'm your host, retired NYPD Sergeant Bill Cannon, a 27-year veteran of the NYPD. You know, folks, we have some news in regards to the Dee Warner case. I wouldn't say it's good news, but it's the news I think that we've all been expecting. And the coroner has identified the remains in the tank as the missing mother, Dee Warner. And they positively identified the remains as belonging to Dee. However, they did not identify a cause of death. So that's something that they may already know, but they may have decided not to release yet. So what does this do, of course, for the family? I think that it gives them, maybe we overuse the word closure, but maybe it gives them just a little more resolve to go after this man, Dale Warner, for murdering his wife. And I can't say enough about Dee Warner's brother, who did just an outstanding job in keeping this case alive and keeping the police on it. And that's an amazing thing. And he deserves all the credit in the world, because sometimes, you know, the police don't push. They don't push because you're a citizen is one of many. And he did the job of keeping this case alive, keeping it in the news. And that's one of the things that I think we all are thankful for. The local news reported this as breaking news. Let me play this right now.
News out of Lenawee County tonight. The Jackson County Medical Examiner's Office has positively identified the remains found on a Lenawee County property as Dee Warner.
Andre Norrells is live in Tecumseh tonight. So, Andre, what do we know at this point?
Jeff and Kaylee, I'm about 6 miles east of where human remains believed to be Dee Warner's were found. And just a few hours ago, the Jackson County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed that the remains were indeed Dee Warner's. Now, Dee went missing back in April of 2021, and her death has been ruled a homicide, but the manner of death is being withheld pending further investigation, Michigan State Police say. Last Friday, authorities found Dee's remains welded shut inside one of two tanks removed from Dale Warner's property in Lenawee County. Dale is Dee's husband. He's currently behind bars and charged by the Lenawee County Sheriff's Department for allegedly killing his wife after she was legally declared dead. Over the last several days, we've heard from the community about this case. Many have said they're glad the family is getting some closure. A person we spoke to in a bar in Tecumseh felt the same.
I was heartbroken, but at the same time, happy for the family. Putting myself in their shoes, I can only imagine just the heartbreak and the questions that they've had all along. And so I was happy to see that she was found, but of course devastated. I just hope that the family can find peace and comfort in knowing that maybe they'll see her again one day, and that the community can just kind of rest and know that this is what happened and just have some closure, some answers.
Now, if you would like a full timeline of this case, we have one on our website, WTOL.com. Now, we will be following this case, continue to follow this case on air and online. Reporting in Tecumseh.
So there's the news that they didn't mention a cause of death. He incorrectly stated the manner of death. The manner of death, as we have gone over numerous times on this show, is homicide, suicide, accidental, natural, or undetermined. So that's the manner of the cause would be strangulation, blunt trauma, asphyxia, gunshot wound, poisoning. That wasn't announced yet. It wasn't announced as to what the cause of death was. So, I mean, I think we're all somewhat relieved to know that the family now has, has been waiting on this, especially the brother, Greg Hardy. He's been keeping this case alive for many, many years. what was it now? 40 months, I believe it was. So 3 years and 4 months. So she was reported missing in April 2021. She was last seen at a home on Munger Road in Tipton. Since then, police and family members have tried and failed several times to find Warner's body. But on Sunday, August 18th, human remains were found during a search of the Lenawee County property that belongs to Dale Warner. According to Hardy, I wasn't here the time they removed the tank, but it was sitting in here separate from other tanks that are over in another part of the location. He said the remains were in an anhydrous tank inside a barn. He took Local 4's Victor Williams inside the barn and explained where the tank had been. Hardy was the one who suggested that police search the tank. He believes he knows how his sister's body was hidden. He thinks Dale Warner is responsible. According to Hardy, he said, in the dark of night, a building that has no cameras, slide her body in there, put the end cap back on it, weld it completely shut, Hardy said. Then attached that to a chassis, paint it, even had a gall to put his logo on it to make it look like it was normal, and then took it and stored it with other tanks so it would look like it was just another one of the fleet. And as we know, Dale Warner is facing charges of open murder and tampering with evidence. He was arraigned in June, and a pretrial hearing is scheduled for the winter. That's so premeditated and so heinous that he deserves nothing less than murder one. This is according to Hardy. He lied to his family and put them through all kinds of pain. He hid the evidence. He went to a lot of trouble to hide the evidence. He lied to the officers, investigators repeatedly. So just for us as true crime watchers, it's absolutely it's absolutely an open, an eye opener that this is what occurred. It's an eye opener that now, not and overuse the word closure. What this gives is having this body recovered. It gives the police, it gives the prosecutor much more evidence to show that this was a premeditated murder by Dale Warner, by the husband. And so now he was sitting in awaiting. He actually was awaiting bond. He can forget about bond right now, but that's what he was thinking he was going to get eventually, because they didn't recover a body. And the family went through great pains to have her declared dead. Sana Elise Hoth Johnson, member for 22 months. Hope you have a nice day, Sergeant Bill Cannon. Thank you so much, Sana. Good to see you. Nina Chandra is up early. A lot of people in the chat. Good to see all you guys. I'm going to play Joanne H. At least now they have a service to begin to grieve the loss. Absolutely 100%. I'm going to play another local news station and their take on this.
Our other top story tonight, a mystery is solved. It was just a few hours ago the Jackson County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the human remains found on Dale Warner's property were that of his wife, Dee Warner. Now, here's an interesting twist. How the mother of 5 died has been confirmed, but investigators won't share that right now. If you recall, Dee had gone missing since April of 2021, last seen at her Tipton home. No cell phone activity, no financial transactions. Now, I want to show you this. This was her husband at the time, right after his wife disappeared, talking to police.
Well, I don't know if she's missing or if she just left. She's gone. She took all her bags, so somebody picked her up. So she's with someone somewhere.
Dale was charged with her murder in 2023, and it was just a few days ago that we talked to Dee's brother after the remains were found.
We were able to come up with a plan which led us to examine the possibility, as slim as it may have seemed at the time, that he could have gone to the extreme of taking this steel cylinder, this totally enclosed steel cylinder with half-inch wall steel, cut it open in the dark of night in a building that had no cameras, slide her body in there, put the end cap back on it, and weld it completely shut.
That was the family's theory. Of course, so many are asking questions about these tanks. Dee's family believes the tank that Dee's body was found in was painted, a logo placed on that tank, and tagged not to use. Hidden, in a sense, among other tanks. Police, of course, are not sharing specific details, but again, a major break in the case as Michigan State Police confirm the remains found inside the tank is that of Dee Warner.
So great, great evidence, great find by the Michigan State Police and Mr. Hardy, the brother of Dee Warner. Great job. He kept this case alive, and it's just, you can't say enough about how he pushed, how he kept it. His sister right there up on the screen, how he kept the case and kept pushing the police, and he was the one that recommended that they go and look at those tanks. So that in itself is an amazing thing, because it got the police to look at those tanks, and they had to get search warrants, and they did, of course, get search warrants for it. They got search warrants for it, and they identified her body, and that's going to go a long way in the prosecution of Dale Warner. And it's just an incredible find. It's an incredible find. And we just a few days ago we were talking about the autopsy to identify the body. And I always say, look, we want immediate gratification in this world. And I said, we might not know. They'll identify the body. And apparently, from what we heard, the body was in excellent condition. And they could tell that from the x-raying the tank from outside, because there's no air in there. There's nothing to cause the body to decompose. So apparently it was in excellent condition. And so, as you all know, they identified Dee Warner, but they did not, at least they didn't release the cause of death.
Yes, tonight at 6, I'm Kaylee Marentet. Many eyes across the country are on Lenawee County.
Yeah, and I'm Jeff Smith. Police finding human remains, I should say, on property belonging to the husband of a missing woman. Family members say they believe evidence Dee Warner was killed has been found, and an autopsy is slated for tomorrow.
Our live team coverage continues tonight. Sophia Pericone is tracking the relationship between Dee and her husband, Dale, who is accused of killing her.
She and Megan Hartnett, they have been following the developments in this story since it broke yesterday. Our team coverage starts with Megan in Lenawee County, where authorities previously searched thousands of acres.
They've done dozens of searches, but this new discovery was not from a plea deal or a new tip that was called in. Greg Hardy, Dee's brother, says it came from the collaboration between Michigan State Police and the family. Family spokesperson Catherine Adams says MSP went to the Paragon Road property, and when looking at the anhydrous ammonia tanks, one had a notable difference. She says one tank was freshly painted, had imperfect weld marks on it, and a do not use sticker. This tank was then verified to have human remains inside, remains the family believes are Dee's. Community members say they've been following the case since the beginning and are hoping the family gets closure.
I'm in it this far. I want to see how it ends, and then I hope the family gets justice. They've been through a lot.
And the family appreciates the community support.
The support side of it has been very, very heartwarming. We very much appreciate it and feel like we're going to be in debt to the community forever.
The family says the next fight for them is getting a conviction in court. Dale Warner is scheduled to be back in court on September 4th for a pretrial hearing. Reporting in Lenawee County, Megan Hartnett, WTOL.
So there you have it, guys. An update. The body found in that hydronous tank turned out to be Dee Warner, and that will go a long way to prosecuting Dale Warner. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this morning. I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to do an update on the recording part 2 of the recording of Jennifer Soto being interviewed by the police. Have a great day, everyone.
One episode just ain't enough.